So really interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you, James. Thank you, Jared, and thank you, Jonathan, for really excellent presentations. I suppose the whole spatial information, AI, AR, VR, it's all interrelated. So we should have some questions from the audience. Does anyone want to ask a question of the speakers? Yes, Craig. Do we need a mic for down here?
Be loud. One for Jared, just around I see the value in surveying itself. It's the foundational part of any construction project, right from design through construction. Is there a danger that we're alluding to focus on this the market of social from approach often strengths into the end user, not valuing not valuing the profession of geomatics or surveying, especially the things of TV, seeing on news.
Absolutely.
I see huge value in it.
Definitely. I think I mentioned before, it's seen like as an unnecessary evil surveying to get to the next stage, and it is a science subject. I don't want to say it's getting dumbed down, it gets easier and easier, but like there's still definitely a need for surveyors for those accurate kind of surveys, those design processes that do need that extra level of care that a surveyor will bring to it. And it's a great question. I think with the TU Dublin, and I can't call it, it was my first choice to be a surveyor, and at that stage in Ireland, it didn't seem like there was much surveying going on, but over the years it has really progressed, and it's a necessity across all construction projects. And I hope it will continue to get more and more, but yes, there is a dilution of all this kind of AR, VR, but there's definitely still a need for, the boots on the ground surveyor putting stuff in the right way, or else it'll just slowly shift and go, and, it'll chaos. I don't want to say chaos, but, it'll really shift out.
I suppose I've got to be careful what I say as a former employee of DIT Bolton St, 29 very happy years there. My own brother did the course, and his wife, Joan, both geosurveyors. Actually, my grandfather was a former geosurveyor. He was a radio officer in the British Navy, and so maybe it's in the DNA. What I would say about TU Dublin and geosurveying, I'd say the only way to address this is for the employers to employ these people. You need to employ geosurveyors. I know it's been great working done by Dr. Barry McCauley and his team in TU Dublin to apprenticise geosurveying. And I know they've got NAO approval from the National Preventive Office to develop a consortium and to move this on. So I think the only way to do this is to contact the school, employ these people. This course is in Bolton St. Well, I don't know, it's 40, 50 years. So now for me, it's been around a long time. As is quantity, as is property. So yes, thank you, Greg. Any other questions? I've got one maybe for James, if I may, and that is on this apprenticeship. What type of employers are employing these people? And what does the course entail? Maybe a quick question on that.
Well, I suppose we set out to develop the apprenticeship 2 years ago. So at that stage, it probably would have been principally AR, VR studios.
Right.
But what we're seeing more and more now is internal opportunities, like the likes of Pfizer have been advertising for people with immersive technology skills.
You need that to yeah. Cool.
So yeah, we're seeing, pharmaceuticals like Pfizer,
right,
advertising for people with these skills lately, and there's a projection that there will be an explosion in the demand for people with these skills. Walton Institute in Waterford actually did some research around the need for the apprenticeship, and They've outlined, the kind of demand and skills that would be required, and they've seen that there's going to be projecting a very explosive need for these skills.
Yeah, I think, we were down in Cork a few weeks ago, and Russell Coleman from Jacobs did a fantastic presentation on the project management experience in pharma and mentioned the immersive technologies. Okay, thank you, James. Any other questions for our speakers this morning?
I have a question for.
Yes, we just have a mic coming over to you now. Maybe just give us your name. Oh, very good.
Jonathan, because you talk a lot of landscape, which is a great tool. I've used it for it's very smooth to work with it. And I was just wondering, do you think now the motion would be used more now that as part of AEC? And do you think this tool would be have the same capability as landscape replace?
I've used both in industry, NC is still my preference. It's faster just to, if you're making changes in the models, you don't have to resync and export and go to another piece of software. It's very swift. And so if you're in a design team meeting, like I mentioned, with various different stakeholders, we're able to make changes really fast. So again, it looks good as well. The finished quality, the actual render quality of itself, and I've yet to see a real-time render that's at that level. And there are certainly higher-end renderers out there, but there's more work that goes into updating the materials and making the changes. But personal preference would be Enscape. I would think that far smoother, more efficient workflow and better visual finish as well.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Geraldine.
Geraldine, Graphics Technical Services. Jared, when you, I think it was a job flying over landscape and zoomed in on the building and then some took over those, and what was the name of the software?
I couldn't tell you. There's multiple different softwares that we use to generate it. I know the last two videos were just in Europe, with the way we mentioned. I think it's an online platform, but yeah, I'd love to be in the processing aspect and making those videos, but unfortunately, I don't know. But I can find that if you can roll.
Great, thanks, yeah. From Jared.
Thanks. Okay. Any other questions? I know, maybe I'll shout. Jonathan, you mentioned BCF. You might unravel that for us because that's a particular specialist acronym developed by Building Smart.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, BCF is a neutral, I think it's been collaboration format. Apologies if I got that wrong. But it's a neutral file that you can bring into different pieces of software for raising issues. And there's lots of different softwares that support it from Building Smart.
Absolutely. Building Smart International, many of you may not know that there is a UKI chapter, principally London-based, and they've 22 chapters across the globe and in 15 different languages, and they've developed training and certification in building information modeling that any student, academic, architect, engineer, surveyor can sit. There's I think it's 6 modules. One of them is Irish specific, actually. The 6th module is Irish specific. All other 5 modules are global in 14 different languages. It's like doing a driving test. You do your practices. You practice your test. It's €60 to do it, I think, David, roughly to do it. You have to go to an approved training. Is it? But you can get SkillNet support for something like that. And but I just say it because the more people, I mean, Jonathan mentioned about all this tech here, this, that we're doing this year, but the more people that do these certified bite-sized courses and get certification, the better, because that's the badge then. You can have a degree, a master's, a doctorate, whatever, but it's these standards that you need. BCF, IFC, International Foundation classes, and so on. So maybe more about that as we approach the next event. I think we might bring things close, Suzanne, unless there was one other question for our speakers. Okay, I'm sure you can connect with them. on LinkedIn and have further discussions. So thank you, James, Gerard, and Jonathan for 3 super presentations. Maybe we showed our appreciation for their efforts. So I just want to take the last few minutes just to thank a few people, and before I go on to go through maybe just a few slides, and that is to thank our speakers, as I say, our sponsors for the series, the CitA team, to Suzanne. I think this is Mella's last official event. You've been a rock. I wish you every success in your new career to Favour, and of course to Sam, a super team in the background. I can certainly vouch for that. And to you, our audience, for coming here this morning, taking the time from your busy schedule, and to the 250 plus people who attended, well, maybe 200 people that attended our event over the series, and the 2024 speakers that presented this year so far. So I just wanted to finish a little bit on the training side. I might get Suzanne to talk through this training component of CitA, and then I'll come back.
Do I need the microphone maybe?
No, I think you should be able to.
Okay.
Unless it's on there. Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll put that on here.
I'm still, it's fine, that's grand. So I just wanted to mention to anyone who is looking to do training, the main funding that we have, which is through the TMP, that 250,000 has got about 20,000 left, and the rest of it is spent. So on top of that, we've loads of different elements of funding that we have this year. We have an ESF funding model as well, as that's an arm to it. So Darry has just given me some notes here. This funding is available to everybody. It is 80% off the cost of the courses that you're looking to do. 80% is huge. Spaces are very limited. So some of the courses it's all available on the website, but Daria has just sent me a WhatsApp here, so I now have some of them. So the BIM 19650, UCD Professional Academy, we are running about 10 licenses on that, where people get to choose to do one of 40 courses that are available to them, which is a huge selection. So if there are people within your organization who might not know which courses they want to do, that might be a good option for you to buy a license. So instead of it costing you, on that one, sorry, Darry, normally could be instead of 1,000.
So please contact me based on if you are looking for 80% from those. There is a selected limit that's offered on those courses, and there are only selected courses available. So
yeah, so it's basically the money is nearly spent before somebody comes upset that we didn't make them fully aware that the money was nearly spent. That's what we're having this for today. The IMI leadership course, a strategic decision making course, but there are loads of courses available on that. So if anybody is interested in training, I know we're only in June, but for the first year since the last 16 years that we've had CitA SkillNet, our money is going to be spent before we get to August. So I know there are people who have courses coming up in September, which are 3rd level courses. Daria does already have them confirmed, and their data is already in an Excel spreadsheet. So their spaces are confirmed and their discount is available. So will I move you on to Tech Live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that
I'll
back
push it in
there.
there. Yeah, that's fine. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So last but not least, artificial intelligence, is this hype, is this justified? The hype that's around AI, we hear it on you can see it all over social media, on the news, on the radio every day. Will this bubble burst? I don't think so. I think this is going to change everything. Or is a terrible beauty to be born? Is it going to disrupt this industry significantly? Generative pre-trained transformers. You've heard about these. This is, GPT. So, you've got coherent text. You've got large amounts of data being put into the engines constantly to keep training it. And of course, it's transformed into sort of particular text that's weighted to the response. And as we develop more and more of this technology, will become more and more proficient. So 9th of October, we're very close to announcing our keynotes. Met a few of them last week in London. We have a steering group that we're going to sort of just, talk to about that. But we've got to build this, because this is kind of so new and so specialist, we've got to ask the industry to step forward to speak. So, there is, yes, a form online on the website. You simply click in and you put your details in. Even if you don't have an expertise in AI, or experience working with AI, but you have a perception, you have a vision for what might be possible, why not present on the 9th of October? So yes, we will have keynote, we'll have present, we're not being, we'll have our invited speakers, we'll have our sponsors speaking, but we want to hear from industry. So we want to hear about things like how AI is going to improve design and planning, for example, how AI will help us manage our projects better, how it'll make our sites more safe and risk adverse. Quality control, for example, can we ensure that our buildings are built correctly into the regulations? You know, constructive automation, you know, robotics, autonomous vehicles, all of that. And of course, it was mentioned by a few speakers, the whole maintenance in FM. The reason why we design and build is to provide facilities for clients who want to live and work in them. So we want to actually create buildings that are more easily more maintenance and more efficient. So yeah, so that's where we are. So we look forward to seeing you again in September. We'll be back in September to talk about AI. I think we're going to do another couple of regional events in the third quarter. So we hope maybe to get more west, maybe southeast of the country. So thank you so much. You've been very loyal this year. I've seen a lot of familiar faces here every month. So thank you so much for your support. So we'll see you in September. Thank you to our speakers, and I wish the sun will come out and we all have a wonderful summer. Thank you so much. Take care.